During apartheid, not even one of those African countries came to fight with black people. You are not allowed to hire a foreign national unless you've proven that a South African is not qualified. You can't be having lecturers that are only foreign nationals because one foreign national came and then started hiring other ones. Wits University or whatever university. I mean, institutions of higher learning themselves are breaking the law.
You cannot go to national TV and threaten violence. Who are you? In a democratic state, express your views, criticize government about its ineptness, quote unquote, in dealing with matters of illegal immigrants. But don't call for violence in our country. We know what violence can do.
During apartheid, not even one of those African countries came to fight with black people.
I want everyone watching this video to tag Jacinta Ngobese so we can give her a history lesson. In 1976, the Nigerian government passed the Southern African Relief Fund Act. They basically forced their citizens to pay a special tax called the Mandela tax.
You are not allowed to hire a foreign national unless you've proven that a South African is not qualified. You can't be having lecturers that are only foreign nationals because one foreign national came and then started hiring other ones. Wits University or whatever university. I mean, institutions of higher learning themselves are breaking the law.
The South African government has published a list of all the critical skills in South Africa. These are jobs which employers are struggling to fill because South Africans are not qualified. Guess which profession is on that list? And now you have Jacinta complaining about foreign nationals occupying a critical skill. Are you serious right now? Less than 10% of South Africa's population actually has a university degree. And you need a master's degree minimum to become a university lecturer. If I was Wits University, I would sue you for defamation because they know that their supporters are not moved by logic and evidence. So now tell me, Jacinta, if less than 10% of South Africa's population actually has a university degree and you need a master's degree minimum to become a university lecturer, where are all these South Africans that are qualified to become university lecturers? Guys, I am getting tired of debunking all this nonsense from all these xenophobes. The stats say something else. The stats have never been on March and March's side.
You cannot go to national TV and threaten violence. Who are you? In a democratic state, express your views, criticize government about its ineptness, quote unquote, in dealing with matters of illegal immigrants. But don't call for violence in our country. We know what violence can do. These people who call for violence, look at what they did in June and July unrest, looting here in Joburg and KZN. And now they think, no, this thing is doable. We're not focused on March and March. We are just putting policy before South Africans to say the state, the democratic state must intervene and at the same time in terms of laws, but at the same time in terms of protecting the citizenry. If that does not happen, anyone can call himself a leader and emerge on a popular front and be funded by people with dubious interest to our country, to hurt our country's image. It's not good for South Africa to be projected in the international landscape as a xenophobic people. You will know, most of you who travel abroad, people love this country. Yes, we've got problems, but we don't want to compare with others. The question of illegal immigration is global. Donald Trump has gone to the House and they gave him billions of rands to execute what is called ICE. People have been chased up and down, arrested in America and all of that, and been victimized and so on. We don't want to degenerate to that level. We want money and laws that protect us. And we illustrate in our statement what are those laws that we need to implement. We are not concerned about March and March. They are raising an important issue that is in the public domain that is well known to all of us. I was a minister of police. If I were to take a practical an example, we were working here around the city center. Eman Mashaba was a mayor for a few days before the DA ejected him. We went here, buildings are full of people who are undocumented here. So if you were to walk in the streets here and somebody pickpocket you, and we chase that person and he gets into that building, we will never know who did this crime. They are undocumented, unregistered, and it's a national security threat. So government must not allow this anarchy in our country to engulf us as though we don't have a state. We must put down the state, not boots and all of that, but through the laws, and they must be enforced. Now, all the other issues, we will be able to deal with them because we cannot afford our country to be characterized as a country that hates Africans, and that is xenophobic. Just by looking at some Kelo in his color and being very black, then you decide that no, Lomfo, I uvelap. You know, there is a stage in this country where police were going in the streets and look at people. Do you remember that? When there was what is that place of Home Affairs? Lindela, where people were taken in Lindela by buses, and then they look at your face. If you can't speak properly, you speak Venda or you speak Tsonga, they take you to Lindela. Hey man, I'm from Venda, and so on and all of that. And just the tribalistic thing. And hurting ourselves in the process. People are protesting. Uvumuntu atukule protest. Aswafuna mashangan. Changans are part of us. These are our people. What have Shangans done to us? In these protests, you hear people say, hey, Aswafuna mashangan. Now you want us to keep quiet in the name that we are protesting. No, that can't be right. We can't allow infested tribalism that undermines our unity to basically escalate in our country like that. Yes, people have got the right to protest. Government, in terms of its responsibility, must cushion its citizens and all of that. I see the president of Rwanda the other day said that, I don't understand, he mentioned countries, what do they want here because there's no war there. In Rwanda, said by the head of state. And then I've seen Ghana, I've been to Ghana. I've seen small businesses being closed down, particularly from Nigerians because they are just from next door, you know. And then they close them down and they say that, no, small businesses here in Ghana are for Ghanaians. And so on. So we must never allow ourselves to be characterized as xenophobic by failure to enforce our laws. And be clear, we have a problem in South Africa of illegal, undocumented people who come to our country. And that is a big risk of national security. But at the same time, there is a danger that this situation can degenerate and become a state of lawlessness, and people just get funded. You can see some of them, they are well funded, these NGOs and so on, and the people that lead them. But the minute you touch on them, you touch the raw nerve, because people are afraid to tell the principle and the truth because of elections. South Africans are not xenophobic. They don't hate other Africans. The issue that we challenge and agree with, we've got a problem of undocumented people here, and they are not just African. Even though they are in majority in African, there's even white undocumented people here. They are sophisticated because of the color of their skin. So some of them own shops, Hyde Park and everywhere else, but they don't have documentation and so on. So we need to deal with that. And government need to lead that issue with confidence. We have not accused marchers in our statement. Read it. we characterize the problem and we say, what is it that we must avoid? We're not condemning them, but we're not pulling back on wrongdoing. We can't all as a nation keep quiet when other people, because we fear for this and that, allow dangerous populism to erode the democratic standing of our country. We must go around the world explaining ourselves to the United Nations. It looks like it's deliberate to show South Africa as something else. Because I show something that is being circulated now, that no, they were busy with Palestine. They are busy with other things. In their own country, they are failing to deal with their own situation, and so on. Now, we are detailing step by step what are the things that are happening. Yesterday, we attended a meeting in Pretoria convened by government, including all these NGOs. When we arrived there, they were present. Of course, it's the right thing to do, to talk to people, but they must equally understand what the government is going to do. Because government cannot allow a state of lawlessness. You cannot go to national TV and threaten violence. Who are you? In a democratic state, express your views, criticize government about its ineptness, quote unquote, in dealing with matters of illegal immigrants. But don't call for violence in our country. We know what violence can do. These people who call for violence, look at what they did in June and July unrest, looting here in Joburg and KZN. And now they think, no, this thing is doable. You can go to TV and say that on such and such a date, if you don't move mountains, you will see what will happen. You are inciting violence. Innocent people are going to be, you know how many people we lost in the July unrest? More than 400 South Africans died in that thing. We will never support anarchy-driven activities. We're detailing in our statement, as a matter of principle, what we're supporting. We're not condemning anyone. We are addressing this challenge and what needs to be done to address it. Inspectors is not reactionary. It has been there on the agenda. We are raising it that now it must be accelerated. This issue, it will help us. UFM, when is the process starting? It should have started by now, of recruiting these 10,000 people by the Department of Labor. Network in the public domain. There are many things that are happening there in that protest, which can be characterized as vigilantism, which can be characterized as also populism, which is very dangerous, ethno-nationalism at best, which is hate crime. We can never accept as South Africans that we hate other people. We don't. We are not xenophobic. And when we raise the issue that there is a crisis of illegal immigrants in our country, you are raising the right thing. But you can't take the next step to chase people, beat up people, as though you hate them. That's how the picture is in the world. And in that particular instance, we raise the issue of hate crime law in our country that must be used in that particular instance. But let's not allow these things to happen as though nothing is being done to address some of the issues